I want everybody who's watching this review, by the sound of my voice, to take a look at the picture. That we know it's not going to scare people. It ain't going to scare kids. Why would it? I want y'all to take a look at the picture that I have up on the beginning of this video. What you see is Rey Mysterio holding what is apparent to be his eye in his right hand. Now, once again, I ain't never seen such a clean eye gouge in my life. First of all, has anybody seen Kill Bill before? I have never seen anybody. Have anybody seen Saw 2? I'm just saying, there have been different eye gouging things that I have seen, but let's just get on to it, because you know what's going on, everybody. It's NC, a place to be Cho Mr. A&D, and not Deion Sanders for Prime Time.
What's going on, y'all?
Back with our horror show at Extreme Rules review. Once again, if you guys are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button for the Nerd Coalition Studios. If you guys are from my Nerd Coalition page, thank you for guys for coming over. I put out on a post that this review is going to be up on the Nerd Coalition Studios page, because I can't upload on Nerd Coalition. So thank you guys for coming over. I hope you guys enjoy. And the ones who are new here, who just probably found this channel, make sure you guys check this thing out and hit the subscribe button for Nerd Coalition Studios and Nerd Coalition Level Up, as we're trying to rebuild our brand from Nerd Coalition. We only got a few more days left. July 23rd is the end of Nerd Coalition. It still breaks my heart, so I'm doing my best to get the word out, because once the community tab is all I have, and once Thursday goes, I lose my community tab. So I don't have a community tab no more, and I have to get another 10,000 subscribers before I get that tab again. So, I mean, do you have the tab, Prime Time?
I don't know. I don't know. If I do, I don't know how to use it.
Okay, well, you usually you gotta have 10,000 subscribers before you get a community tab. So I'm trying to get all of y'all back over as quick as I can, so I can quickly use that tab to help communicate along with social media and find other ways. But right now, you're here about the horror show at Extreme Rules, and it was a horror show, not for the reasons you may think. Anytime, in my opinion, that I think Impact can do a slightly little bit better show, and that's not saying much from what Slammiversary was, that's a problem. That's a problem. So we might as well just get right on to this call. Shall we Prime Time? Now, once again, me and Prime Time did our predictions on the No Give Me See the Wrestling podcast, and we already said how stupid this was. We came out and said stupid I was, but we hashtag. Go ahead.
You know it's stupid when you don't even know how the match is going to be won.
Exactly. So we didn't see the pre-show because the pre-show doesn't care. They took off 2 matches for Extreme Rules to put on, one on Raw and one on SmackDown, to help boost ratings. Trust me, look, let me let you in on a little secret. It's not going to help. Because one thing is, you probably could have benefited from the matches being on this show to help the show. This is one of the shortest WWE shows that they did, and guess what? I still ain't care. So the Randy Orton and Big Show unsanctioned match is on Raw, and then the bar fight between Sheamus and Jeff Hardy is on SmackDown, and I think we dodged a bullet on that one. Just saying.
Yeah.
But I do like seeing Jeff Hardy hardcore matches though. That's why. So first matchup.
Until he died the wrong way.
You're right. So first we start off with a tables match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura taking on the New Day. So this match was what you expect. Good chemistry by both guys. A lot of high action parts. A lot of teases of trying to go to the table. The rule is one member of the team has to go through a table. Big E and Kofi try to set up a table out in the stage way and try to suplex Cesaro through it. It doesn't work. Cesaro tries to superplex Big E through it. It doesn't work. Big E and Kofi set up a double table out there, right there by the announce table, and then Shinsuke Nakamura comes against another table, but Kofi does one of trust fall dives, which scares the hell out of me every time he does it from the top rope. Takes out Nakamura. Big E hits the spear right through Cesaro, but just misses the table going through the apron. And then Kofi's up trying to it looked like Cesaro tried to go for a neutralizer. Kofi tries to fight out of it, but Nakamura gives him a kick in the chest. Cesaro pulls, like a double arm, pulls him up and power bombs him through 2 tables. And now you have new tag team champions in Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. Called it.
Yeah, you call it. I call this going to do the regular way-in. Have them win here and have them lose on SmackDown.
Like that. Yeah, no, I was like, they were going in very dominant and stuff, and I was like, this does not hurt the New Day for losing the tag team championships. They're going to win them back because Vince want to make them most time tag team champions of all time. But however, they need a refresher. The New Day needs a refresher. I'm just saying, like, maybe start putting them in singles matches. Just to, you don't have to break them up, but just to spread out the monotony of like saying Big E was like, you know what, I want to take my shot at the Intercontinental Championship against AJ Styles.
They're not gonna do that right now. They're not gonna. Yeah. They probably do it, but not in this. Not now.
Not during the pandemic.
Nah, just not now.
Okay.
Now while both of them coming out with everybody's names on the sleeve showing respect, I don't think they're gonna. Not now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get you saying. So it was a decent opening matchup. Okay, so everybody's like, well, since Extreme Rules start off, all right, yeah, that's how it usually is. Next match, we have Bayley with Sasha Banks taking on Nikki Cross with Alexa Bliss. The match that has no build, no fire, and I already knew coming in here, this was the match that was already called of who was going to win this matchup. So Bayley is teasing Nikki Cross in the beginning of the matchup, showing her that she's stronger and doing all this kind of stuff like that. And Nikki Cross just gets a snap of the crazy Nikki Cross, starts beating up on Bayley, gives her a neck breaker. She goes out the ring and being very heelish. The match goes on back and forth. Nikki Cross hits her finishing move as Bayley draped across the apron onto the outside. That looks sick. But Bayley doesn't lose with that one. Sasha Banks tosses one of her ball strings in to Bayley, hits Nikki Cross, and gives her that overdrive finishing move, which I don't either. Bayley ain't hitting that move right.
Yeah, Bayley definitely not hitting it right.
Okay, I'm about to say, because I remember when Randy Orton used to do the overdrive. First of all, the move looks dumb, but however, when it's done right, it can look pretty. But Bayley's not hitting that move right at all, and I'm just like, okay, maybe she need to go to another finishing move, because I know the Bayley's now a signature setup move, and the whole diving.
Which it should have been in the first place.
It should have been, but see, that was the face move. Bayley needs to have a heel move now. So I was like, but that ain't the one. But she beats Nikki Cross to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship as expected. Your thoughts on the matchup, because you already knew, just like I knew, what the outcome was going to be.
Yeah, it was just a typical Bayley match, so it was annoying.
Yes, but I like Hill Bayley though. Hill Bayley is cool to me though. I like Hill Bayley.
I don't know. Hill Bayley is giving me like Baron Corbin.
Whoa, no, she ain't on that level. Like, cause
for me she is.
Because
probably you know what I said probably because she was Sasha Banks. Because Sasha come out there, Sasha be all happy and looking good, so then they come out and they just ruined everything.
TD said it's ruined.
It ruined everything.
But like Bayley be like, I be laughing at her stuff that she be doing because Baron Corbin is just like, I never could stand Baron Corbin. But anyway, next match is for the United States Championship. Apollo Crews taking on MVP. So MVP is out. He's ready. He's in his wrestling gear. And
wait a minute. You said Apollo Crews?
I said Apollo Crews.
Who was that again? I ain't seen him in a while.
Man, Apollo Crews. The last time we seen Apollo Crews was when he was in the Full Nelson about a month ago.
Oh.
A month ago. Now, granted, a month ago is when we started having those COVID tests. I'm just saying. Now, that people may say he may not have it or anything like that, but he could have had it and just getting well, but he's still not well enough to wrestle. Like I said, speaking from somebody that had it, after that 14 days, the virus is not kicking your ass no more, but you still not at 100%. Like after my 14 days,
it's like when somebody gets surgery
Yeah.
And their recovery time is done, but they still need more time.
They still need more time. You need like I need an additional 7 days to try to get my bearings together because it's like it's like a tornado. It comes in, it wipes you out. So after the 14 days, you could be like, hey, I don't have it anymore, but you gotta rest the body up. You gotta put the more proteins and liquids and stuff like that. Especially if you're an athlete or a wrestler, if whether you feel some symptoms or not, you gotta recover your body. And doing that high impact stuff is gonna be a minute. So I don't know if he was ready for it or not, but they played it all because Apollo Crews did not come out. He was not ready for it, which I call was going to happen because that championship was not made for nothing. So
they should have. I think they should have did the Jeff Hardy at Survivor Series thing where they just either show him laid out or they just say he got attacked. So
I mean, I agree with you, but then on top of that,
I mean, just the way that it don't make sense to have them wait all the way into this match to say, oh, he's not unable to compete.
No, it doesn't make sense. But when you're trying to hide that, because look, WWE is trying to hide all their wrestlers that most likely tested positive for this virus. Look, have you heard, where's Austin Theory? Where are the Street Profits? Where's Otis? Where's Mandy?
I think they just don't want to use some of them because Otis. I don't know.
I mean,
I need a time away from Otis anyway.
I'm about to say, but yeah, well, look, here's the thing: you can tweet. Like I said, if you sick and you quarantine yourself, you can still do everyday things. It depends on how bad the virus got to you. You know what I'm saying? So you can still do those different kind of things. But however, it's not a thing where it's just like I'm dead. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not a thing like, well, I don't feel anything. You gotta go quarantine. So with all these people not here, all the people I just said were in storylines or were shown prominently on TV, and it wasn't like they just gonna say, well, we ain't got nothing for them. The Street Profits was doing the thing with the Viking Raiders, and they just disappeared. Austin Theory was with Seth Rollins and Murphy, disappeared. Then Apollo Crews, the United States champion, and just disappeared. And then they didn't say anything about it. They just said the only person that came out was Caleb Braxton and Renee Young and the other guy who came out and said they had something because the WWE don't want nobody to reveal anything. So that's what I think happened, because if you're putting two and two together, so that they made the belt, because if he does have it, that means the belt's with him. That means the belt's littered with the virus. You don't want to bring that to the workplace and give it to MVP. Make a whole new belt. Throw that one out and just say, hey, we'll do the whole Razor Shawn thing from 95, or we'll just do the thing was like, okay, he forfeited, and that's what happened. So since he forfeited, MVP is now your new United States champion, which obviously there's no general manager, so I don't know how that ruling is going to work, but
they could have did it so much better. They could have at least said he was beat up. Cause physical don't make sense, and of course they would have showed it in the beginning of the show. And how they usually would do it, if a GM or somebody would say, "I'm a final replacement."
Exactly. But hold on.
Hold on a minute, player. No, stop.
But isn't that like you told me earlier? Isn't that good storytelling?
Didn't you go with this word again?
Yeah, I'm about to say. Didn't you tell me that earlier? And now you're trying to apply that?
You're right.
You're trying to apply that? Well, guess what? Nope, that ain't what happened. They said he got COVID. We ain't gonna tell nobody because he's Apollo Crews, and then we're just gonna give MVP the championship. So that's what happened. MVP defeats Apollo Crews by forfeit, which brings us to an eye for an eye match. The match could only be won with this is what it was said when Byron Saxton and Samoa Joe was on commentary. This match can only be won when one competitor, listen to me now, extracts an eye from their opponent, or extracts the eye of their opponent. Okay, I'll repeat it for a third time. When an competitor extracts an eye from your opponent, right then and there, you should be telling yourself, this is dumb. I guarantee you.
Only then? Only then?
Well, no,
that's the only place?
I mean, well, we got this far. Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins both looked at each other and said, look, Seth Rollins was like, the only reason why I'm doing this is because I need a paycheck because I got a baby on the way. Rey Mysterio said, the only reason why I'm doing this is because Dominic is still here. Because other than that, these guys ain't for this. Because these two, I always wanted to see in a good one-on-one matchup. Not this shit. So, a toolbox is brought to the ring by Seth Rollins. And then he's waiting for Mysterio. Mysterio attacks it from behind, and they start fighting. They automatically start going to the tools. Mysterio pulls out a table, and then gets a kendo stick. Rollins, he has like this little metal staff thing where he tries to stab Rollins in the eye. A lot of trying to go for the eye in the match, obviously. Rollins has a Falcon arrow on Mysterio on the apron. That looks sick. Then he goes to the toolbox and tries to stab out Rey Mysterio again with this pick that he has. Mysterio fights back and gives Rollins a trip to the corner of the announce table, and Rollins hits his eye, but nothing is out yet. They're back in there. They fight some more. Rollins slides Rey Mysterio outside underneath the bottom rope onto the table that he had brought out in the matchup, but it wasn't set up. He just landed on the table, which sucked. And they're going back and forth. So once again, this is still them trying to push their eye on sharp parts. And I'm like, okay, it's not a cinematic match, but I'll wait until it gets to the cinematic part. Rey Mysterio takes a kendo stick and a split kendo stick and actually puts it in Seth Rollins' eye. You can see it in his eye, but then Seth Rollins gets out of it. He gets a 619 for his troubles. And then Rey Mysterio is on the outside, tries to put Rollins' head into the steel steps. Rollins gives him a low blow. Then gives him, before that, he gives Rollins a curb stomp, his own finishing move against him. Gives him a curb stomp. Then tries to put his eye into the steel steps. Rollins gives him a low blow that gives him a super kick right up against the barricade. And then Rollins takes Rey Mysterio and puts his eye right into the steel steps, just like he did on Raw. And all of a sudden, I seen a glimpse of this white contact in Rey Mysterio's eye. I said, here you go. He loses. So he puts it in there, and then all of a sudden, Rollins just kind of like falls back, like jumps back. And then Mysterio's holding his eye. Dominic comes out there. First of all, Dominic came out there first and says, well, no, actually that did not happen. Dominic just came out. He was like, Dad, you okay? And Seth Rollins, oh, hold on, give this man an Oscar. Starts throwing up.
He's gonna
puke. He's gonna puke. So Rollins starts throwing up on that, like legit throwing, like, that's gross. And I'm like, well, that was gross. And then you see the image of Rey Mysterio, his eye, like I showed in the beginning. And this, where can we start at the list of problems for this match?
At why is this match happening?
Yes, so obviously I was completely wrong about why they booked this matchup and talk about how it was.
I told you Bray was gonna lose. He's not signed.
I thought he may have signed something.
No, he's not signed. You're getting crapped on. It's plain and simple.
Well, yeah, you got crapped on with a match that looks and sounds like this. Number one, if anybody gets their eye ripped out, the nerves alone is going to make your body flail. Okay? So, number one, you ain't do a good job in acting that. Because you're not, and then first of all, you're supposed to extract the eye. So you're supposed to reach your hand.
Let's be honest, he only has one eye to begin with.
Who, Mysterio?
Yes.
Oh, you mean
remember, is that Seth Rollins take the other eye?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's how you want to build the match. It's supposed to be the horror show, right? Seth Rollins supposed to come in there and pull Rey Mysterio's eye and like hold it in his hand. First of all, there was a lack of blood for that being somebody's eye.
Yeah.
That was the cleanest eye ever to be pulled out of a human skull. That eye would be bloody, dirty, bruised. That's what that eye would be if somebody took the eye out. That is just gross. Has anybody seen Hostel? Okay, like, come on. You know, like, there has been different effects of eye gouging in horror movies that was way better than what we saw here. And then when it comes to the throwing up thing, that didn't even make sense. I'm like, from what you've seen, it's not. It didn't require throwing up at all. You try to make it realistic. You know what was realistic? Remember when Booker T got stink faced?
Oh, he threw up. Yeah.
Yeah, he threw. That makes sense. I got ass all in my mouth, so I'm gonna throw up. Well, I mean, it sounds gross, but that's true though. And that requires a throw up. However, Seth Rollins doing that off of what? And everybody's out there calm talking about some deep breaths, deep breaths. That's not what you do when somebody got their eye out. They casually walking Mysterio to the back.
He'll be alright. This happened to him before.
This casually, exactly.
Alright.
Dominic is not met. Dominic ain't going after Seth Rollins at all. He not. Let somebody gouge my dad eye out. Okay, and my dad got, carpal tunnel. He got all types of cataract, stuff like that. And my dad, if he don't wear an eye patch sometimes, his eye does pop out. I've seen that. And that already grosses me out. Okay, so I'm just like, what happened here? I'm like, there was a lack of, there wasn't even blood on Mysterio's glove. It was
holding his eye.
Holding his eye. And then he's sitting there. Mysterio is barely whining. My wife was just laughing at Kill Bill when she got her eye taken out. She was on the floor flailing like a fish. Devon sold that eye gouge, okay? And first of all, you ain't did it. You just pushed it back into the steel steps, and this is like, oh, okay, what the like? This was dumb. This made no sense. It didn't even need to happen. And the only reason why they called it the horror show is because of this damn match here in the swamp fight. That's it. And nothing else about this felt horror at all. It was a waste of the Extreme Rules. A waste.
Pretty much.
And that made the absolute no sense. Mysterio and Rollins as wrestlers deserve better than this. They deserve a lot better than this. And like I said, the acting was so bad afterwards. Like, that's not how Rhea Ripley sold better at her knee being injured by Charlotte at WrestleMania 36 this past year than Rey Mysterio sold his eye being taken out of his head.
Yeah, Rhea was selling like she was about to die for real.
Exactly. Robert Stone sold a tank being run over his ankle better than Mysterio sold being his eye taken out. His eye is out. That makes it's like, it's silly, it's dumb, it should never happen. But if you're going to have the balls to go this far with it, at least put the effort into making this shit look somewhat credible. Not even real, credible.
We really talk about WWE making something look credible. That has something to do with taking people's eyes out.
So you mean to tell me when it's a main event feud, Roman Reigns can get a blood pack and make his nose bleed? Like, whoa, not that much blood comes from a nosebleed. There was clearly a packet, but I can't get half that blood on Rey Mysterio's face and hands and his body.
Nah, not everybody can get away with the blood packet, other than the big dog, apparently. So.
Oh God. So as he's up to the back, then what made this shit even worse? Kyla Braxton is in the back like, oh, first off, I'm free of the you-know-what. She's just like, look, Rey Mysterio's been taken to a local medical facility where they said that there was no kind of optic damage. They said there was no kind of optic nerve type of damage, so Rey Mysterio should be over. Are you kidding me, Primetime?
How does that even make sense?
How is there no optic nerve damage? I'm paraphrasing because I know that's probably not exactly what she said, because they gave her another list of medical jargon to say. How in the hell?
Say that he has anal bleeding again.
Oh my God! How is that possible when he goes there? So they're saying like, look, man, he took your eye out, which he really did. He just pushed it kind of like, and it kind of popped out. He did that to your eye, but you know what? He didn't really do a bad job. We could just kind of push this back in, dust it off a little bit, wipe it down with a Clorox wipe, and call it a day. Are you kidding me? So Rey Mysterio is going to be all right. Guess who we seeing on Raw tomorrow?
I'm hoping Rey Mysterio or Dominic.
Shit makes no sense. When she said that, I was like, I'm done. I'm so done
So in 2020, Rey Mysterio survived falling off a building and getting both his eyes taken out.
At the age of 45 years old. At the age of 45 years old. What am I doing wrong? My man survived falling off a headquarters and getting his eye gouged out at 45 years old, and this man is rough trying to get his son in there. Stop it. I was done. And it wasn't
that wouldn't even make sense from a storyline standpoint. You know, Dominic, I mean, I don't think he want to be a wrestler. So I got both my eyes taken out, fell off a building. It's just rough for me out here, son. I don't think you want to do this. You should go do something else.
He's only there for Dominic, because Rey Mysterio like, I can go back to I go to AEW. Rey Mysterio's only there for Dominic. Only there for Dominic. And I said that. Only there for Dominic. Anyway, moving on, because Bayley Dostraps is backstage with Sasha Banks. Is going to be Sasha Banks 2 belts. So we're about to go with the Raw Women's Championship match: Asuka versus Sasha Banks. Good match. Finally, it was like a breath of fresh air. A good match about these two. Bayley's on the outside with Sasha, and then Kairi Sane's on there with Asuka. At the part of the match, Sasha goes for her sunset flip dive to the outside to try to powerbomb Asuka on the plexiglass. Asuka reverses it, gives a double foot stomp right there in the chest on the apron. That looked like it sucked.
It probably did.
It probably did. But then on the outside, Sasha does powerbomb Asuka along the plexiglass wall. Sasha tries to go for a strike, gets a German suplex where she overjumped the first time. I don't know.
Yeah, of course. This is Sasha Banks we're talking about.
Yeah, she jumped so far back and folded herself in half. She landed on her head, and then Asuka did it again, and then they go to the top rope. Oh my God! When I seen Sasha bounce on the very top of the rope, I said, "Please don't die," because I thought Asuka was gonna give her a German suplex. Or I thought, I don't know how she was going to take it. So Sasha kind of falls back on her feet. Kind of. It's more like her knees. And tries to go for the bank statement on Asuka. Doesn't work. So now, this is where the fun begins, as you say. So, Asuka has, Sasha puts the bank statement on to Asuka, and Asuka's not tapping out. So Bayley, is trying to find a way to interfere, but then Kairi Sane brings it down. They start fighting on the outside, but Kairi Sane gets a bit Bayley to belly on the outside. So now Asuka has Banks in the Asuka lock. Bayley goes to distract the referee and throws in a title belt. And as he's doing it, he said, "No, you can't come here with a title belt." Kairi Sane is seen giving Asuka something, so we know what it is. It's the miss. So as Asuka's getting ready and Sasha gets up, she goes for the miss. Sasha looks at ducks. The referee gets the miss by Asuka, and then Bayley comes in and then hits Asuka in the back with the championship belt. The referee can't see. Takes off the referee's shirt, puts it on herself, and counts 3 as Sasha beats Asuka with a question mark for the Raw Women's Championship. The match was good. Then we got to the end because we got to that WCW kind of ending. And I'm just like, okay, so what's going to happen here? Because since there's no general manager on Raw or SmackDown, and they don't benefit from that, and we don't know what the rules are, it's like, can Bayley just take the referee's shirt and then do that? Can she do that?
I mean, since there's no general manager, ain't gonna be nobody else to come out there and talk about. Hold on a minute, player.
Exactly. So is Sasha Banks the new Raw Women's Champion?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me. So it looks like we got Banks 2 belts and then Bayley Dostraps. So holding all the gold in the women's division. Now I think Asuka obviously gets it back because Sasha not being able to join I mean, Sasha not being able to defend her championship, I think it's going to play a part into the downfall of their friendship. Because Bayley has successfully defended her championship, but Sasha has never had a successful championship. So, I think this one's going to play. That's the only thing I'm curious about on Raw. Only thing.
I mean, it would be weird. I mean, how would they stop her though? Like, for real?
I don't know.
All of a sudden, it's a GM now. Like,
yeah, I mean, Paul Heyman's fired. I mean, unless you get Triple H, but he's not coming back out there, for that. So I don't think that's going to be a thing. Drew McIntyre is up next to defend his WWE Championship against Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph Ziggler has not revealed the stipulation yet. So since I didn't see a cage, it's not a cage, or do you see a hell match? So I'm just sitting there like, what's Dolph Ziggler going to pick? So Dolph Ziggler is like, our match between, huh?
It's gonna be pre-taped. And they built the cage. And he's gonna say, "I wanna," and then they kind of pause it.
Yeah.
And they come back trying to be in the same spot, and all of a sudden it's a cage at the top of the cage, at the top of the arena.
Yo, that would have been dope. That would have been funny.
So yeah.
He says, "I want an Extreme Rules match," and Drew McIntyre's like, "Okay." I mean, this is called Extreme Rules, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, "Wait a minute. The pay-per-view is called Extreme Rules, and we don't have an Extreme Rules match on the card. Yeah, you know where this is going." But he said, "But hold on, it's an Extreme Rules stipulation only for Dolph Ziggler, and McIntyre has to wrestle a normal singles match. So once again, if he gets disqualified, if he gets counted out, he wants to run and walk away or run away, Dolph Ziggler will become the WWE champion." This is Carlito and Triple H from Unforgiven 2008 all over again. Remember when that match, it was no disqualifications for Carlito only. And I was just like, I hate those stipulations. I hate stipulations where it's just like, okay, well, it's a no disqualifications for me, but for you, it's
it's no disqualification for me, and you can't pin me, or you'll get disqualified. You'll lose the title. So
it's like, okay, whatever. Now, once again, me personally, I would also ban the Claymore kick because it's been going over strong. And if he did an Extreme Rules match and banned the Claymore, that would have put him in a harder thing too. But McIntyre doesn't care.
Did he do that though?
He probably did, but now with the Extreme Rules stipulation though.
Who was that he did it against? They finished and they still hit it and in the match. Was it oh my God, Edge. It was Edge.
Oh yeah, Edge couldn't hit the spear.
And he speared him anyway. I think that's how Dolph won the championship.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, well, Edge's spear is not that deadly anyway, so I didn't care. So I was like, it wasn't like it was a Goldberg spear. Because once again, I like Edge, but I still think Edge has the worst spear in wrestling. But anyway.
You're right.
Yeah, it was between him and Rhino, but I'm like, but Rhino at least got the impact to go with it. Edge got the worst spear in history. But with that being said, the match goes on, and we see McIntyre just bullying Ziggler at the beginning. He just on him left and right. Ziggler can't catch a break. He gets he's about to set up a table on the outside. McIntyre's about to suplex him, but they turns him around and suplex him on the mats on the outside. Gives him a kind of a tough belly to belly through over the announce table. He's like beating Ziggler's ass this whole matchup. Ziggler hits a low blow.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Ziggler hits a low blow, pulls out a chair, keeps hitting McIntyre with the chair. On the outside, hits a famouser off the announce table, not through it, off the announce table to Drew McIntyre on the outside of on the mat part. Then there is a thing where Ziggler goes for a super kick, then a zigzag. McIntyre kicks out. Then they're on the outside. McIntyre tries to go for a headbutt. He gets super kicked onto the table. Ziggler climbs up, gives a diving elbow, which I knew that was going to happen. I said Ziggler's going to hit a diving elbow to a table on one of these things. Threw McIntyre through a table. But then McIntyre beats the 10 count just in the nick of time, so Ziggler has to do more work. And Ziggler goes and gives him a super kick, a zigzag, and a rock bottom on the wrong side of the chair. So I know McIntyre was pissed when he felt that. McIntyre still kicks out, so Ziggler's pissed. He's clearing out the ring. He says, "My time." Going for the super kick. I knew this was going to happen. Kip up, Claymore. DN. And McIntyre retains, as everybody knew, the WWE Championship. So, your thoughts of the match?
It was a match, of course. You know. It was okay. I mean, it's just, I don't know, something off to me.
Yeah, it's only
the elbow drop was good though.
You said
the elbow drop was good. It felt like the table exploded. I felt like.
Oh yeah, I mean I like that. I mean, Ziggler does a good elbow. It looked like midway through the elbow he didn't want to do it no more because he was flat back. But you know what I'm saying. But it was still a deep elbow. I must say the kip up to the Claymore. I liked it. Great timing and everything. So now it's time for the main event. It's time for the Wyatt Swamp fight. Braun Strowman taking on Bray Wyatt. So Bray Wyatt is out there sitting in a rocking chair. He looks like he's waiting for his food to settle. Then Braun Strowman drives up and is like, I'm home. And then all of a sudden, the lights, listen to me, the lights in the swamp go out.
Because we haven't seen that before.
Because, first of all, I ain't no problem. When you go to a swamp, is there lights?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming you just look at a tree and you say lights off, and the tree knows what to do, I'm assuming.
And then even the headlights of Braun Strowman's car go off. I'm like, okay. I understand it's for theatrics, but I'm just like, in the swamp, though? And then the lights come back on, then Bray Wyatt's on the chair, then he gets attacked by these two masked guys. He doesn't know who they are. He's trying to beat them down. Then, because he there's a sign that says something about he enters here. I forgot what the sign says. Then all of a sudden, something hits him in the back with a shovel. He looks up, and it's him. It's Green Braun Strowman from 2015, back when he was green as goose, as Stone Cold would say. And he takes a shovel and knocks Bray Wyatt out. Knocks Braun Strowman out, or himself, I should say. He wakes up chained up, and then in this barn place, we get, I'm not lying to you, a 7-minute promo by Bray Wyatt.
Sounds about right.
That sounds about Swamp Jim Jones Bray Wyatt, don't it? He's tied up, he's sitting there giving him about to join me, Braun type thing.
You know what, Randy?
Yeah. Let me tell you something, Braun. And I'm just like, okay, can we get on with the match or something? And then there's this lady in the veil that comes and tries to bring a snake to Braun Strowman. And then next thing you know, it's like dark, and he gets out of it. And then now he's by this campfire. And then these guys come back and attack him again. He beats these guys up. There's one guy, he pulls the mask off, hits him in the face with the shovel, and then he kicks him, and then he rolls into the fire. This guy, when I say gets up and starts running around because he's on fire.
Yeah, he was running. It looked like he ran around one time and just kept looping it.
Exactly. And I was just like, what's happening? I was like, what's really happening? And then he goes around and he's flailing his arms and all that kind of stuff. And then you hear this voice saying, Braun. And it's like, who is this lady in the veil? It's Alexa Bliss. Because they was part of the Mixed Match tag. She's like, come join me, Braun. I know you want me, Braun.
Why do they always make it seem like it was more than that, though? Like,
I don't know. I really don't know, because they did some flirtatious stuff in the Mixed Match Challenge. They did. So people, tried to play off of that. Not saying it was good, but they tried to play off of that. And then he's walking closer, and then all of a sudden it's this haze, and then Bray Wyatt appears, trying to beat down Braun Strowman. They fight. Braun Strowman chokeslams Bray Wyatt on this boat that's out in the swamp, and then he sees his other boat kind of creeping up, and I'm like, why? And he goes into the water to go investigate it. Why would you do that? But once again, we don't know how a swamp fight's supposed to be won in the first place, so fuck it. Let's go check to see what's in that boat. Nothing is necessarily in that boat. Then Bray Wyatt comes up, and they're fighting some more. He got this shovel thing and is beating down Bray Wyatt over and over and over again. They're on this little balcony area, and then Braun Strowman looks up and gives Bray Wyatt a kick through the wood, and he falls off the balcony through the water. And then he just looks down, and he's just, Starling's just like, it's over. And then little Extreme Rules thing comes up, and the show goes off. That was it. I thought that was the end of the show. I was like, well, that sucked how that ended. And then they said, no, we got you, because we came back, and it still had the little logo at the bottom. And then I'm like, why are you still looking in the water? But I guess you want to make sure he's dead. So then Bray Wyatt comes up and then pulls Strowman down, and then you see Strowman trying to come up from the water. You see Bray Wyatt trying to come up from the water, and then all of a sudden, you see the Fiend come up from the water. And then you hear the laughter, the ha 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 ha, that laughter, and then all of a sudden the Fiend stares to the camera, and it goes black, and then you hear, "Let me in." Okay, so that was the swamp fight, and
so wait a minute, just real quick, to be clear, Braun Strowman did officially win the match.
I thought Bray Wyatt officially won the match.
I thought Braun won the match because he kicked him in the lower. When he kicked him,
but then the Fiend came. The Fiend came out. You know what? Let's see what the.
What the GM's gonna say? Let's see.
No, I'm just saying what. Okay, no, it says here. Bray. I'm looking at the results. Bray Wyatt defeated Braun Strowman.
Okay, I thought it was against the Swamp Bray Wyatt. That's what I thought when he kicked him out.
Yeah, no, you know how Bray Wyatt don't. Bray Wyatt don't play by nobody's games. So,
that's like saying, that's like having, Kane versus somebody, and Kane gets, thrown out, and Isaac Yankem comes out and takes the pin.
I mean, you had 3 faces of Foley in the Royal Rumble.
But that
does not make sense.
It almost makes sense.
That does not make sense. Don't do
it's
that.
It's not nobody pinning. It's not Mankind getting thrown over the rope and him leaving and coming back, and then Mankind takes the pin.
No, it's still. I mean, it's not as dumb as this, but it's still dumb. So, but Bray Wyatt defeats Braun Strowman, and that's how it goes off. In my personal opinion, when it comes to the cinematic stuff, this was the worst one. In my personal opinion,
I think they got 3 worse ones. They got this one,
in
my opinion, Adam Cole and Velveteen, and then the first one they ever did was New Day and the Wyatt.
The New Day Wyatt family was not that bad. The New Day Wyatt family one was not that bad. Braun Strowman was green as all hell, but it wasn't that bad. I can agree with you. The Velveteen Dream and Adam Cole one was not good. It was not good at all, and it was very disappointing. And also, this one was not good. So, when it comes to the cinematic stuff they did this year in 2020, because they had to get themselves out of a bind, this one was the worst one. The best one is still the Boneyard match, but this one is the worst one. So, with that being said, this is Extreme Rules. So, what do you grade Extreme Rules? Thumbs up or thumbs down? I'm not doing no letter grades.
I have to go with a down.
Yep, I'm gonna have to agree with you. Extreme Rules is getting a thumbs down from me. So, and it's getting an Orange Cassidy thumbs down too. Like, whatever. So, how do you guys
get thumbs down? You don't even feel
exactly.
You don't even feel much to even just. Okay.
So, how do you guys like Extreme Rules? Make sure you guys post down in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe to the Nerd Coalition Studios along with Nerd Coalition Level Up. We're moving from the Nerd Coalition channel, and once again, I gotta try my best to communicate with y'all with these next few days that I got left before that channel gets terminated. And even if one of these companies respond to me about the strike, there's no point keeping the channel because I deleted like a ton of videos off of it now and messed up my whole channel views and all that stuff like that. So that's what it needs to do. It needs to be taken off like that. So you know what? Make sure you subscribe to Nerd Coalition Studios and subscribe to Nerd Coalition Level Up. So once again, this is NC, a place to be chill, to understand, and not Deion Sanders with Primetime.
All right, y'all.
And Nerd Coalition is out.